Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first web TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I will be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my pleasure to introduce two very special guests. Well, my first guest is Lisa Bloom. Now, she is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has a private practice in Tarzana, California, and she has with her her very special guest, Luke. Now, Luke came to visit Lisa to achieve excellent and excel in all endeavors in his life, including those professionally and athletically. Please help me welcome my guests. Well, Luke, thank you so much for being on the program today.
My pleasure.
And I wanted to ask you, what was going on that you want to come in and see somebody?
Hypnotherapy was actually recommended to me. I was working with a producer. We're on set and we were talking about the different things I do in my life, and I was talking about how I wanted to get to that next level of my new career, which is hosting here in Hollywood.
So what were you doing before?
It's actually what I still do. I'm most well known for working in the water. I'm a marine biologist by trade, and I've turned that into a on-water hosting career. I mainly work with sharks, so
wow.
great white sharks, tiger sharks. Done a lot of productions for commercials, for documentaries. I work with a lot of celebrities, and we deal with some quite ferocious animals, but very beautiful animals.
Oh, I bet. And you wanted to now just have a little bit of a transition to hosting some TV. And how was it to be able to take the confidence you have in the water and bring it onto a dry land?
Well, that's actually something Lisa helped me with. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with, being in front of the camera, and I've always had fun with it, but I really believe in being able to intensely focus yourself on certain applications. Now, I can do that effortlessly when it comes down to, being in the water or, producing the things that I need to when it comes down to what I do athletically. Mm-hmm. And then I found myself being thrust into this super accelerated world of Hollywood and going, how do I learn so quickly like I've been trained so well in the water? And that's when it was suggested to me, hey, just go and tap into your subconscious, visit Lisa. And
So the producer wanted you to go see a hypnotherapist?
Yeah, he suggested it as a way just to kind of punch into there, yeah.
And he recommended Lisa Bloom? Is that how you found her?
Sure did.
Well, this is obviously a very bright and dynamic young man. What kind of an induction did you use for Luke?
Well, I used an arm raising with misdirection to buy credibility.
Sure, when that arm goes up, you have no doubt that something extraordinary happened here. What was it like to go from a waking state into the hypnotic trance?
For me, I know people experience it differently. For me, I don't feel much different except super relaxed and absorbing everything that comes in. I think Lisa says I've got a pretty strong mind, so I don't go out, I don't feel any real differently, except everything just goes away and I can listen to the suggestions that are coming in and just absorb.
So having that focus and concentration is one of the characteristics of hypnotherapy in your experience.
Absolutely. It's actually something that I'm quite familiar with because that's the way I feel whenever I'm, in the water on a dive, intensely focused in the things that I do. It's just replicating that same thing, so it felt very comfortable to me.
Sure, because there's a lot more going on dry land with cameramen and stages and unpredictable guests. Never here at Hypnosis Today. So Lisa, what kind of hypnosis techniques did you use?
Well, I decided to use imagery. I'm certified in imagery, so I wanted to create a customized imagery for Luke. Borrowing his comfort with sharks, how he feels so calm around sharks and dolphins, I created an imagery where I took him on a dive. And at first the dolphin took him down into the water, and then he was around sharks and he was very comfortable and calm. So I was giving him the inference that even going deeper and deeper into the water, he can still be comfortable and calm, which he is.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm very impressed, and let me tell you why. Certainly with having Luke, who doesn't feel very deep in hypnosis, using the metaphor of going deeper and deeper into the water, I like that inference. Keep going.
So then he went very deep, further into the water than he's ever been before, and there was a little cliff, and he could sit on the cliff and just dangle his feet on the cliff. And then there was a cave, and he had the opportunity to enter the cave if he wanted to or not. That was his choice. And then in the cave there was a treasure, and he could again choose a treasure or not choose the treasure. So if he wanted to have the treasure, then he could bring that back up with him. And we use this imagery to create, again, just feeling comfortable in any situation.
Did you choose to go into the cave?
Usually when there's a deeper, darker place to, squirrel around in, yeah, I'll go.
Okay, and in your imagery, were you able to discover treasure?
I didn't see it as a treasure chest. What I took away was that feeling of peace down there.
So that was your treasure.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can't go onto the set, well, maybe you can, with Luke, when he's working on dry land. And so how did you teach Luke how to take those feelings that he got in the hypnotic trance and be able to access them in a full waking state, Lise?
Well, I did give him post-hypnotic suggestions. So one I gave him was, the more you doubt your confidence, the more confident you become.
See, now I like that for someone who's very intellectual, because that's a double bind. Because if you doubt, you're going to be confident. If you don't doubt, well, you're confident already. Tell me a little bit about that post-hypnotic suggestion and how you've been able to apply it when you're working with your producer on stage.
I think what I found the most was, I don't know if other people experience this, but I'm always put in a situation where I have to be super, super confident. I'm the guy in charge, particularly when I'm on the water or on a production. In recent applications, I haven't necessarily been able to say, I've got this 100%. And because I'm such a focused, controlling person, there'd be that voice in the back of my head which would go, I don't know if you got this. And it'd be that little seed of, I'm not sure. And it'd just throw me a little bit. I'd always get it back, but I was thinking, what's the point of even having that voice? It's completely counterproductive. I'm smarter than that, but it's until you absolutely know what you're doing. For me, that little voice is there, and I found it's not there anymore.
Well, you talked about excelling in excellence and pushing beyond.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that your whole life. So to be able to turn off that little voice at will, how do you do it, Luke? How do you turn off that little voice?
For me, it's always just been having confidence and not questioning myself. That has now accelerated me into that position where I don't have to do that anymore. So, I really feel that hypnosis for me is taking something which I feel pretty good at and I could train a whole lot more and get better progressively. Or I could just say, you know what, let's just get better now.
Let's get better now.
Why bother letting myself restrict myself on this? And that's what Lisa helped me do, just kind of punch through that little glass ceiling I'd created and say, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What are 3 post-hypnotic suggestions that everybody who wants to work with someone who wants to excel in excellence should know and bring into his or her practice?
Well, of course, I gave him the post-hypnotic suggestion to rehypnosis because I thought that was important for Luke because his mind is so strong and he didn't think he was going into hypnosis. So I did give him that. I also told him, you may be surprised to find that the deeper you go on your dives, the further you go, the more calm you feel, and you can bring that into your everyday life. And then again, giving him the double bind.
Tell us about what you're doing now athletically and what ceiling have you broken through with your athletics?
Well, for me lately it's winter, so I've been snowboarding a lot. So
Where do you snowboard?
Here in California. It's one of the best things I love about living in LA, being able to drive up to Big Bear in the morning and surf in the afternoon. But for
There's
me,
nothing I love more than that.
Yeah,
really.
it's terrific. I love it. But for me, it's my 3rd season up there, and I pride myself as being pretty much good at everything, especially athletics, and I've found myself just wanting to push harder and harder. And for me, I've been applying this on the slopes now. So I get up there and visualize myself on a dive, start deep breathing. Suddenly, everything just goes crystal clear. I'm super focused, and I'm having the best day of my life.
I love it.
And I'm finding that on set as well.
So what are you working on set? Tell us about some of your projects.
The next thing, in a few weeks' time, I'll leave for Bahamas. Taking Rachel Ray scuba diving with sharks, which should be interesting.
Rachel Ray and the sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to prepare one of them and serve it on her show.
No, we like to protect the animals. They're endangered animals, but they are very beautiful. And she's doing a great thing by coming out and seeing the animals firsthand, and we'll put her in the water and give her a one-on-one experience with them. But that's, as you can imagine, quite a complicated production that I'm in charge of. So
I bet.
That's the next big adventure.
And are you feeling as comfortable on land now as you're feeling in the water?
Yeah, I am. Even more so than before. And having said that, I know that I'll always be learning, and I'll always use every single thing I can to just punch through quicker and quicker and quicker, and to get ahead of everyone else. And I think that
There you
know,
go.
with tools like this, I can really do that. So Lisa's been a big help.
Being a scientist, what would you say to other people with a strong mind who might be skeptical about whether or not that person can even be hypnotized?
Oh, that's easy. You know, hypnosis is simply just for me, it's a high level of focus, and I think that's something that other scientific minds can understand. It's not airy-fairy, it's not anything like that. I'm sure it can be for some people, but for me as a very analytical person, it's just closing everything down and absorbing what you need to. It's just a higher state of learning. So if you can put yourself in that same level of focus and apply that throughout your life and learn the tools to do that, then you're going to benefit. So.
Well, we need to take a short break. But first I want to thank Lisa Bloom and I want to thank Luke for coming on and talking about your unique experience using hypnosis, for feeling more confident and excelling in everything that you do. But please stay tuned, because when we come back we're going to have another segment, and we're going to talk to Ty Johnson, who is an HMI grad, and meet her client who learned how to use hypnosis to have a billionaire mindset. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back with Hypnosis Today. Thank you. Emotionally and athletically. Please help me welcome my guests. Well, Luke, thank you so much for being on the program today.
My pleasure.
And I wanted to ask you, what was going on that you want to come? Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first web TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I will be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind. Therapy. And she has a private practice in Tarzana, California, and she has with her her very special guest, Luke. Now, Luke came to visit Lisa to achieve excellent and excel in all endeavors in his life, including those professional, and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my pleasure to introduce two very special guests. Well, my first guest is Lisa Bloom. Now, she is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy.